Hi guys, it's Ramsey from Nova Hypnosis Wellness, Peak Performance Associates. And this video, I wanted to cover the impatience sometimes that we experience with clients because they want something right now. And they'll often have or share statements with us like, well, why can't I just do one session? Please know that this practice does not do work in a single session format. Everything that we do is a package, and it's designed for moving the client at a pace which is unique to them, and 99.999% of the time they're not even aware of what their pace is. And the reason that they get stuck into these unresourceful states is because they're not aware of what they're experiencing. Otherwise they would not do it. Just like a healthcare professional, they cognitively know they shouldn't smoke or they shouldn't overeat. They already know it from an academic standpoint, but they're not changing their behavior. And the reason they're not changing behavior is because they're not aware of what's governing their emotions. So that process is different for everyone. So sometimes, like I was referring to before, sometimes a client will come in and say, well, I just want to do one session. And we go, well, that's not going to be in your best interest. Well, why not? Well, here's the reason why. Each person that walks on earth has different life experiences. And although there are patterns, the way that their quilt has been sewn together is unique for them. And so the way that we go about undoing that quilt and then redoing a new quilt that's more supportive of them is going to be unique for them. And that's why it's a process. And it makes sense when you think about it. The culture of the United States has become a culture of, I want it now, I'm not willing to wait, and if I have to wait, I'm going to go somewhere else. So just know that if you approach behavior changing from that perspective, it's going to be something that's going to frustrate you. So that's why we always recommend that people allow themselves to be part of the process. And that frustration, I'll just give you an example right now. Recently, my wife, she visited a chiropractor, and the chiropractor was very methodical, did a very thorough intake, did a very thorough evaluation, and then systematically goes through making adjustments. Each time doing more and more advanced things or more deeper adjustments. And initially, she was frustrated because the rest of the industry approaches, you come in the first time, crack, 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 or using that gun or whatever tool that they use or methodology is more current now. And so most people are not interested in waiting around for something that's going to be to their best interest. Most people they want to resolve whatever need that they're fulfilling. It's the need for the gratification. They want to resolve it very quickly. And they don't want to bother. They don't want to waste time. And to approach changing your behavior from that perspective, it's really doing you a disservice. So I encourage you to look at it as it's a process. In fact, it's one of the requirements that we have for deciding to work with a client. During the phase 1 interaction, which is our initial assessment and needs discovery, we're evaluating the client and their willingness to participate. And one of the requirements is they have to decide that they're willing to change. I can't make that decision for the client. No provider can make that decision for the client. So that decision has to come from within. And the second requirement is that the client allows themselves to follow the process. And that means they follow the process the way that we're moving through it. Not on their terms or not when they feel like doing it. Because the work that is being done inside this transformative process is purposeful, it's meaningful. And then the last thing is it's a requirement, but it's also a characteristic of clients that do really well. I mean, they turn their entire life around. They do the work. They do the work. Here's the next thing to do. X. Got it. Hey, did you get X done? Yes, I did. What did you notice? I loved it. I rocked. Or I didn't like it. It was uncomfortable, but I grew from it. Okay, here's the next thing. Y. Hey, did you get Y done? Yes, I did. What did you think about it? What was the experience that you had with it? Very eye-opening. Now I know where I fit in this whole thing called life. Cool. You ready for Z? Yes, here's Z. So in between our session work, we're actually doing activities that reinforce the change that are going on. Doing the work is mandatory. It's not a choice or an option. Doing the work is mandatory because it's mandatory for anyone to be successful in whatever it is that they're pursuing. So this video really is to create context and expectation about real lasting transformative change is a result of allowing yourself to be fully present for the work that you're going to do. And in that hypnosis work, or in the coaching or the NLP work that we do, we're holding that space for you to see things very clearly. And when you see them clearly, there's no way you're going to choose to feel angry or sad or overeat or do something that's damaging your body. You just will not do that. It's not possible. If you have a healthy mind, you're not going to choose in that state to do things that are going to go against what your true desires are. And then from that rapid resolution, phase 2, where we actually do the work, then we move into integration phase, and that's where we help clients gain massive clarity in what it is they want to do with their life. Instead of just being in a constant state of reacting to things every day and being subject to the current of life, the current of society. You get back in the driver's seat and you start focusing your attention on the areas that you want to improve in. So when you're doing that, you feel a greater sense of fulfillment, and a greater sense of pride, a greater sense of happiness. And so the integration phase is very important. We have it broken out so it's separate, so you don't feel a need that you have to do it, but it's designed in order to help you even more. It's designed to help catapult you even further. Because with that clarity in your own life, you will not waste time doing stuff that does not fit in alignment with those particular objectives that you have in your life. And then we teach you how to condition it so that it becomes your new identity. That's the third phase. You can see this is a lot of work. We do a lot of this work in a much shorter period of time than most stuff happens in the world of mental health. It's considerably shorter amount of time in many cases, yet it still takes time because it is a process. So a couple of things to think about. Have you decided that you want to change? Are you willing to follow the process? Can you do the work? If you can do all those 30 things, you'll have an excellent experience. It'll be something that you most often the feedback I hear is, man, I wish I had done this when I was younger. Man, I wish I had done this when I was, in my 20s. So it's something that is, it's designed for the best interest of the client. Everyone comes in at different stages. And some things to think about, some things to process and allow yourself to mull over so that you can begin to enjoy or appreciate this transformation that you're experiencing. Not just like, I need to get it done, I need to get it done, I need to get it done. And then racing off to the next thing, whatever that next thing is, whether it's in alignment with your life or whether it's, completely incongruent. So think about those things. If you have any other questions, any other comments, please feel free to share them with us, email, on Yelp, whatever the case is, Facebook. We're happy to answer them. I love doing these videos. It's fun. It helps other people gain information and knowledge about what is hypnosis. What is it that I can expect? So those type of things help all clients. A rising tide raises all ships. Take care. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.